welcome back to the third episode of Cooking Whilst in Thailand. It's not really a cooking episode today, it's more of a tea brewing episode. Not only is it a tea brewing episode, but it's the third tea brewing episode. We had some advice from Ernie way back in Canada there, pointed out that maybe we should be doing some multiple angles, and so we are trying that. So you can see here I'm in the wide angle thing showing the entire background, and we've got a little bit of a close-up thing going on down here, and we're just learning our editing skills on this. So third episode, well, third take. First take went quite wonderfully, except for I forgot to turn the cameras on, which of course Sherry laughed at my expense on that one. And then of course the second take turned out okay, except for I cut off the top of my head, and I couldn't figure out some of the editing things, and it just wasn't all that great. So we think we've ironed out some of the editing, which should make it a little bit better and a chance for us to present in a more professional look. So without any further ado, today's episode is dedicating this to Reagan, our neighbor. We talked just before we went over here about making some chai tea. I said, let's get together, make some chai tea. We didn't, so we're going to dedicate the Thai tea to Reagan, and we will be doing chai tea down the line. And just for the record, apparently it's not chai tea. It's actually chai masala. Chai in India is the word for tea. And so some of them take an exception to calling it chai tea, because that's just basically saying tea. And so don't do that anymore. It's chai masala, which we'll be doing later on. So Reagan, this one's for you. Thai tea is a fairly popular drink over here. I've fallen in love with it. It can be served warm or cold. I have a preference for the cold, but it's still mighty tasty. So let's go through some of the components that we need. So this is the brand. This is the number one. I'll put it here. You can see it. It's important to get this one because not only does it have the tea and some spices already built into it, it is also got a dye in it that makes the tea kind of go a bit of an orange color. So there's yellow packs, green packs, wherever you want this one, which I believe you should be able to find at, say, Lucky's in Winnipeg. I'm not positive about that, but I'm pretty sure it's good. I've taken the tea out of it and just put it in a Ziploc bag, and this is going to be our scoop right here. We need a couple of cups for the transferring of the liquid. This is our tea sock, a little bigger than I need, but it'll do the job. This is a standard 20-ounce cup of ice, which we're going to use to ice this tea. This is, I was calling it cane sugar, but it's actually not. It's palm sugar. Over here, it's fairly popular in the tea. I stopped using it because I find that the sugar from the condensed sweetened milk is enough for me, but we're going to make it with just to follow the traditional path. And then the evaporated milk, which of course is readily available in Canada. We're going to brew up about 4 ounces of hot tea liquid, and to that we're going to add about an ounce of the condensed milk and an ounce of the evaporated milk. So when it's all said and done, to make a proper cup of chai tea, whether whether hot or iced, would be about 6 ounces. And when I pour 6 ounces into this, it's going to be relatively full. So without further ado, let's start the process. So I will put my sock in the first cup. 1 scoop of tea, 2 scoops. I've got my kettle of hot water, which you might have heard singing way back there. And I'm going to pour in, this is an 8-ounce stainless steel cup. I'm going to fill it almost to the top, but not quite, because we will lose a little of that liquid into the tea grounds. And in all probability, I'll spill some around the edges, because this is a really big thing and I keep doing that. So now that we've got this in here, we need to transfer this a certain amount of times, and the rules of engagement here in Thailand are it must be transferred back and forth 5 times. That is the count. The count is 5, Therefore, the count shall be 5. It cannot be 3, and it must not be 6. The count has to be 5. I think I've clarified that now. And we shall start with number 1. 1. Lift that up. Transfer it in there. Number 2, you can see that color is starting to develop. And I did pour a little on the edge there. 3. Ooh, it's starting to look good. 4. And of course, as the count was 5, this will be the final pour. Oops. Number 5. Nice orange color. Beautiful aromas coming from here. I'm going to give it a bit of a squeeze. Trying to be relatively gentle because I do not wish to burn my fingertips. We want to get most of that liquid out of there. And that's good enough. So now you can see as best I can, it's not quite a half cup of the tea, but it's all that we're going to need to make this beverage. So as I said, typically it's got the palm sugar in it. This is a small spoon, so I'll throw a couple of those in there. And we will stir that around a couple of times. Back and forth, just to make sure all the sugar is dissolved. And I think that's pretty good. And the next thing that we will do is squeeze in about an ounce. And this has come out of the fridge, so it's pretty thick. But I think that's pretty close to an ounce. We'll give that a stir. There we go. Beautiful. And then finally, about an ounce of the evaporated milk. So if this is an 8-ounce cup, you can see I'll get this as close as I can. It's not quite full. It's probably 6.5 ounces in there, which we're going to add into this cup of ice. And there you go, right to the top. Now normally, this is served, and you've seen from the pictures, they'll put little creamy tops on it. And they'll do the same for the iced tea. Give it a bit of a stir. I'm not making the frothy top because I don't have one of those machines. Oh, that is so delicious. And that, my friends, is how you make Thai tea. So I thank you for joining in once again. And I look forward to the next thing that we're going to produce, whether it could be tea, we'll see. And yeah, you all have a good day. Thanks for coming by.